is on YouTube? What's cool? What's groovy? What's happening? We're about to find out. So, today we're going to review the one and only Dragon's Den. This is a dragons are flabbergasted by company's fat-shaming business strategy. We're going to get right into it.
First into the den, a Yorkshire couple, Richard and Lynn, buy.
Whilst I have my sandwich. My not so healthy.
Will the dragons buy into their plans to peddle a range of cyclewear designed to flatter the fuller figure?
Hello Dragons, my name's Lynn.
And I'm Richard.
And we're from Fat Lad at the Back.
And we're here to ask for £80,000 investment for 10% of our company. Fat Lad at the Back is a new sportswear brand aimed at providing the larger framed sportsman with kit that actually fits them, as opposed to making them look like a shrink-wrapped chicken. I've always struggled to find sports clothing to fit me, being a mammal, otherwise known as a middle-aged men in lycra. And I've never really been able to find anything that didn't make me look terrible.
What is it called?
Fat Lad at the Back.
Nice.
Where do we get to? Yeah, so we launched on the 4th of October last year. And since then, we've really had a fantastic ride. We've amassed just short of 3,000 followers on Facebook. We've turned over £48,000 in that time. We've had a gross profit of about 24,000.
We knew that the brand was strong, but even we've been kind of overwhelmed at how passionately people have adopted it and how inspirational it's been to people. We think we're in a great position at the moment because we've clearly found a gap in the market. We just need some help from maybe some dragons to help us fill the gap in the market with Flat.
Flat being the acronym of Fat Lad at the Back.
A pitch with a healthy dose of irony from Richard and Lynn Buy, who are seeking £80,000 in return for a 10% stake in their sportswear range for the plus-sized cyclist. But before the dragons can interrogate the business, Duncan Bannatyne has a few thoughts about their brand to get off his chest.
When you name your product Fat Lad at the Back, that's the only customer you're going to get. You're not going to get...
It's actually not, that's not necessarily true. You don't have to be fat to be a fat lad at the back, do you know what I mean? It's more of a...
No, I don't know what you mean. If it says Fat Lad at the Back...
If you're out cycling, there's always somebody that is at the back.
Yeah, but why do you call them a fat lad?
Well,
No, they're not always fat.
What if it was me at the back? What if it's me at the back, and I'm not a fat lad,
skinny.
I just happen to be the oldest person there, and I can't go up the hill any faster.
You're the old fat lad at the back.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Peter.
I'm not a fat lad.
So but you are, metaphorically speaking.
Now, I completely understand it's a turn of phrase, isn't it? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It could be the skinniest person on that bike, right up in that group. You could say, oh, he's the fat lad at the back.
Yeah.
But I do have a problem with the brand because, unfortunately, it is a little bit too closely descriptive of the person that you want to attract.
You want to bring out then a female range. Would you wear fat girl at the back?
That's my point. That's the point.
What did you say?
Exactly.
Fat lass at the back.
Fat lass at the back. Are you serious? Is that
Well,
really?
a lot of people.
Children's range, yeah? Fat kid at the back?
No, we're
I
not.
don't think you could do the kids,
quite
could
doing
you?
that, but there's...
So, guys, listen, I'm going to be really quick. They can interrupt as much as they like. If they, my point is, I get all of the bits you're talking about, so don't think I misunderstand it. But unfortunately,
This sandwich is good. I haven't even been able to speak, but I got a lot to say. When I saw the name of this thing, Fat Lad at the Back, I was like, And I like the points that they're making. How about if you're selling this to kids that are a bit overweight, or you're selling this to women? Would it still be like some cool thing? Who would want that to be on their t-shirt? I know people have very odd things on their t-shirts anyway, but this to me is just strange. And the fact that it's like, if people are overweight, they've already maybe had a lot of self-conscious issues, like being self-conscious, or having issues with people tease them, bully them, cyberbully them, and all the rest of it. And people call them all kinds of names. The last thing you want is to have the only material or gear that you can wear out there in the market that's made for bigger people, to have some kind of phrase or derogatory term that's been said to you by bullies and stuff written on that gear. Like, I don't understand that. And how are they expecting those particular people to buy this?
That isn't going to help you. 'Cause I get it, but I still worry about it. So
it's just before you declare yourself out, just to say one thing, and that's that at the moment the initial range to get the brand out there is emblazoned with Fat Lad at the back, but we do have a plan to bring out a more subtle range for those people who don't want to want the Fat
I've
Lad
also
at the
been
back
in the
on.
fashion industry, and it's hard, it's tough, and you need to get as much market as you can, not box yourself into a quite tight group of people who are going to get it, who are going to think it's funny. I'm afraid I won't be investing, so I've got to say I'm out.
Where do we start on this one? I'm a mammal, and I have been the flab.
Yes.
Fundamentally, it's a very, very competitive market.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you different? Just apart from the sizing.
Yeah, well, the brand.
Can I answer?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm not a cyclist, so I've come at this from a different angle. I dress Richard in a normal day-to-day fashion because I'm really interested in fashion and styling and things like that. So we've changed the shape of the garment itself. We've started with a 44-inch chest, and we've made the garment look good on that size of person, and then we've tailored that up and we've tailored that down. So we've come at it from a completely different place to most cyclewear companies.
Your presentation for me is so flawed. Most people don't want to think they're becoming middle-aged or that they're overweight, or they don't want that pointed out to them.
Okay.
I don't kind of get the positive out of it.
I think when all people return to, like, go back to the gym or go cycling or do all of those things, they want to feel like they fit in.
But how are they going to feel like that if you've got Fat Lad at the back? Do you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, but sometimes it's easy for somebody to almost take the mickey out of themselves and go, I know I'm going to be the fat lad at the back.
Possibly some.
That's not everybody. It's just like how people make fun of themselves. People that don't stereotypically look pretty or whatever. They'll call themselves, oh, I'm just an ugly fat, or whatever. They can say that. They shouldn't. But they can say that. Now you're going to stick this on your shirt. And people are going to have a pass, or think they have a pass, to just call you anything, anyhow. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's great. If people want to take the mick out of themselves, they will buy it. Other people will definitely not buy it.
But not everybody. I'm looking at your models, they've got a pot belly, so therefore it just means that it's got to be bigger. I mean, if you're fatter, you buy bigger clothes.
You do, but up to date, there's not been anything available for people that are...
I don't believe that for 1 minute. I mean, I know lots of people that are overweight that do sport. Their shirts are not up here. They're just bigger shirts.
Yeah,
Top quality cyclewear tends to be based on the old-fashioned typical cyclist, which is a 36 to 38 inch chest. But the middle-aged man in Lycra has changed that.
Kelly, maybe rightly, getting hung up on the brand. If you put the brand to one side for a moment.
That's what I was going to say. It's a good idea. If there's nothing else like that out there, as the woman is saying, like good quality Lycra and stuff like that, just think about the idea. The idea is good. It'll motivate bigger people to actually start cycling and stuff like that. And yeah, just get rid of the name. That would be the easiest thing, no?
There are more and more middle-aged men and women actually riding bikes that don't look good in very technical Lycra. So what happens when everybody else says, oh look, they're selling lots of those tops for bigger guys, and we'll make ours slightly bigger and we'll change the shape slightly.
Yeah, and they will. I'm absolutely sure
but then
of
you're
it.
done.
I mean, we were with the third largest cyclewear and online cycle company last week.
when you come to Dragon's Den, you need to be prepared. They'll eat you alive. And hopefully, as you were preparing to come, no, not as you were preparing to come there, as you were preparing, like as you were making as you were designing and developing this brand, some of these questions that they asked should have come up. Otherwise, sometimes it's some of the figures that I can see that it could throw somebody off a little bit. But just simple things like, yo, if nobody's making bigger sizes in these cycling gear, and you pop this out and it becomes successful, everybody else is going to start making their stuff bigger. That's just common sense. I hope they have a good answer for that one.
And their comment was, we're definitely going to stock you because you're the best people to solve the problem.
I think you could do better on the design. If you're going to do something which is really going to make a mark.
I mean, there's, we're doing the best we can and have up until now, in terms of design, but we are only 6 months old.
They're babies.
Despite intense scrutiny, Richard and Lynn's belief in their brand is unwavering.
That's how it has to be. I've got this. It look nice on the packaging, but hey ho. You have to believe in yourself. And you have to believe that, what kind of mess is this? There's just so sticking together. Anywho, it's your product, obviously. You need to believe that it's a good thing, It's alright. Some people come on there, they're doubting themselves. Their partner is saying one thing, they're saying another thing.
But will that be enough to convince a skeptical Peter Jones?
I would be definitely, certainly you look at me, I know that I'd be the fat lad at the back. But I'm not so sure I'd want to be the fat lad at the back when I walk into the pub. I don't see it as a mainstream opportunity, a mainstream brand. That being said, I do think you'll sell some, because I do think it is quirky and people like quirkiness, but I don't see it as an investment, and I'm going to say I'm out.
The initial concept of this is it's great that you're doing something like this. I just think the actual fat lad at the back descriptive title or brand is wrong. So for that reason, I'm out.
Help them rebrand.
I can imagine you sat around a table one night and everyone's like, oh, I'm overweight, I'd like to sort of go off and cycle, but I can never get the clothes right. And you created this brand and it was funny at the time, but morally, I don't like it because I know people struggle with their weight.
I would say that what the brand has done for a lot of people, and a lot of the feedback that we've got, is that people wear it and they feel empowered by it, and it gives them almost permission as a slightly larger cyclist.
I wish you well with it and I hope it works for you, but I'm not going to invest in you.
They don't want to hear anything. Their mind is made up. I mean, what can you say? This has to do with money. They don't want to hear any stories. It's got to do with money. Picture thing, I don't like it. You're the weakest link. Deuces.
So I'm afraid that I'm out, but good luck with it.
Sure.
4 dragons have now turned down a deal. As the only dragon who's grasped their fat lad logic, all hopes of investment now lie with Piers Linney.
There is a market, but the question is, how big is it, and is your brand right for it? Because I don't know. What you're trying to do by exercising is not be the fat lad at the back.
Yeah.
You got to try and be, the skinny mate at the front. I don't think you're gonna create enough.
If done right as well, the fat lad at the back is not going to stay the fat lad at the back forever. So because you're trying to get them to be healthier, and they'll lose weight, and they will be exactly skinny guy at the front. So then who's going to be buying your stuff? Other fat lads, till they all become skinny. Thing is, you always have fat lads. I guess that's what they're banking on. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Traction, enough people out there are going to buy this stuff. So, I'm out.
Oh.
Quickly proved an uphill struggle.
Just didn't get it.
Well,
Okay.
Hold each other down and hold each other up. This is not the end of anything. There's so many people that went on these Dragon's Den or Shark Tank. I think that's the Australian one and the American one. That these people did not see the potential, but eventually they went on to make it. Because guess what? When you believe in yourself and you keep pushing and you keep standing by yourself and by what you stand for, you will make it. You will make it. What's for you is for you. This is what I've realized. That's when other people are doing well, you clap and you smile and you smize and you do everything because your greater is coming. I'm a great believer in that. And God is looking on. He ain't gonna never let you down. So yeah, believe it.
I am the original fat lad at the back. I've always been called the fat lad at the back. We've got now 1,100 fat lads out there riding in our stuff within 6 months. And that is, I think that's pretty good.
1,100, that is a lot. In 6 months, where did they get them from? Yeah, that's pretty good. To get people to actually see your merch and actually buy it with whatever advertising they're doing, they might get somewhere. That is pretty cool. Anyway, that was it for today's review / mukbang. It was very simple food. Again, #struggle food. And yeah, make sure you hit bump stomp azot on the subscribe button and hit notification bell once you're at it. I'll see you in the next one. Make time for glorious life. It's time to start living it right. God bless. Bye.